Light Yagami was a genius who wanted to save the world, or was he a deeply sick individual who just wanted to watch it burn? He called himself a god. He killed hundreds of thousands, and in his own mind, he believed he was saving the world. But was Light Yagami a brilliant visionary, driven by a radical sense of justice, or a textbook psychopath hiding behind a mask of perfection? Welcome to Anime Analyzed, where we dive into the psychology behind the animation. Today, the mind of Light Yagami. Before we descend into the darkness, let's start with the undeniable. Light Yagami is a genius. Not just smart, a prodigy. Perfect grades, supernatural strategic ability, an IQ past 200. His mind operates on a plane few can comprehend. When L first appears, Light doesn't panic. He sees it as a challenge, a complex game of chess, where the world is the board. He anticipates moves, plants, traps, controls the flow of information, always one step ahead. This intellectual superiority is intoxicating. In psychology, we see strong narcissism, an unwavering belief in his own superiority, a deep need for admiration. He anticipates moves, plants traps, controls the flow of information, always one step ahead. This intellectual superiority is intoxicating. On its own, not always dangerous. Many leaders share this trait. It drives ambition. It fuels greatness. But here is where the foundation cracks. Light doesn't just want to win the game. He wants to be worshipped for it. He doesn't want to fix the system. He wants to become the system. That's the tipping point. That's when genius, left unchecked, starts to curdle into delusion. Now, let's move from genius to diagnosis. The Hare Psychopathy Checklist is used in real-world forensics. A high score can mean life behind bars. Light Yagami? He scores disturbingly high. First, glibness and superficial charm. Light lies to the task force, with a sincere face, comforts his family, while plotting their demise. His charm isn't real, it's a weapon. Second, grandiose sense of self-worth. I am justice. He genuinely believes his intellect is so superior. He has the right to decide humanity's fate, a god complex, in its purest form. Third, and most chilling, lack of remorse or guilt. Watch his face as L dies. No conflict, no sadness, only triumph. His victims? Trash to be removed. Killing isn't tragic, it's sanitation. Fourth, shallow affect. His grief, his love for Misa. It's all performance. The only real emotion? The cold thrill of the hunt and the rage when he's outsmarted. Fifth, a need for stimulation. Ryuk said it best. Light was bored. The cat-and-mouse game with L, not a burden. It's the ultimate adrenaline rush. Sixth, a parasitic lifestyle. He leeches off others. Misa halves her lifespan. Twice. For him, Takada, Mikami. They're not allies. They're disposable resources. And finally, the trait that ties it all together, lack of empathy. To Light, people aren't people. They're pawns, useful tools, or obstacles to remove. Or 6 years.
The world remains divided over the
Kira
figure
was
known
untouchable.
only as Kira.
His plan was
Public
perfect.
opinion is split,
Victory,
with fervent supporters and
inevitable. But every fortress has a breaking point. For Light, it was this warehouse. The moment he truly breaks, when the 40-second countdown ends and Nier remains alive. No more masks, no more control. For the first time, his perfect plan implodes. He screams, he pleads, he crawls on the floor. This isn't the anger of a mastermind. This is the tantrum of a child who lost a game. Psychologists call this narcissistic injury, the unbearable wound when your grandiose self-image shatters. In those final moments, as he bleeds out, Light didn't fear death. He feared irrelevance. He feared being remembered as nothing more than a serial killer. So, was Light evil or psychologically broken? Here's the twist. Light wasn't born a monster. He was a brilliant, arrogant young man who was dangerously bored. The Death Note didn't corrupt him, it revealed him. Think of it as a pressure cooker. It took his latent traits, narcissism, God complex, rigid justice, and amplified them to terrifying levels. The power didn't create the psychopath. It gave the psychopath permission to emerge. In real life, people like Light exist. CEOs, dictators, cult leaders. They believe their vision justifies any cost. There's a term for it, moral disengagement. It's convincing that your self-ethics don't apply, reframing murder as cleansing, dehumanizing victims. They're rotten, easier to eliminate. Light didn't see himself as a murderer. He saw himself as a savior. So, was he a psychopath? Not clinically diagnosable. But he had the traits. He displayed the behavior. And he suffered the collapse of one. Light Yagami isn't just a villain. He's a warning, a case study about absolute power, the seductive poison of the ego, and the stories we tell ourselves to feel righteous. But his mind is just one of many. Which anime mind should we dissect next? In the comments, tell us, the crippling depression of Shinji Ikari, the charismatic nihilism of Dazai Osamu, or the terrifying pursuit of freedom by Eren Yeager. Next week, we explore the real psychological trauma behind Attack on Titan's most broken characters. Until then, question everything.